Welcome back to the Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago show here on CTV as well as Talk City 91.1. The National Trade Union Center for Trinidad and Tobago has called on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to dismiss Labour Minister Baptiste Primus because of what they said are 6 questionable appointments to the Cipriani College of Labour and Co-operative Studies. The trade unionists sent a strong message saying that they're prepared to engage in war if necessary because of the disrespect meted out to them. Joining us on the phone is the Minister of Labour and Small and Micro Enterprise Development, Baptiste Primus. Minister, good morning.
Good morning, Leron. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much for chatting with us, and best wishes for the new year as well.
Thank you kindly, and I offer the same to you, your loved ones also.
Thank you very much, Minister. So, NATUC has sent out a release following the appointments to the Cipriani Labour, calling on you to be dismissed, your appointment to be revoked, because they're saying that their candidates were not considered and they were bypassed, and they're calling it disrespect. Your immediate response to NATUC's call?
Well, Leron, I have responded. On Friday, I was in Tobago engaging in a consultation with the credit union movement in Tobago, paying a courtesy call on the Chief Secretary, meetings with the Secretary for Labour and Settlements, also the Secretary for Finance and Enterprise Development, when I was contacted about this statement by NATUC. Listen, Leron, to me this whole situation is nothing more than a storm in a teacup. It is really surprising that you have trade union leaders behaving in such an irresponsible manner, and I will qualify why I'm using the word irresponsible. These trade union leaders got up on Friday morning, read, I think was page 8 of the Trinidad Express, saw a statement about 6 state boards being appointed, one of which was the Cipriani College of Labour and Cooperatives, which fall under the ministry to which I have been appointed. There were some names under that board, and based on that information, these 3 labor leaders, so-called responsible labor leaders, never even contemplated picking up the telephone and calling me as the line minister and saying, well, minister, what is this we are reading in the papers? What happened to our representative? Leron, a simple phone call would have clarified the issue. Had they done that, I would have simply told them, the information you saw in the newspaper is not complete. Those names that are printed there are the new members to the board. However, NATUC's 2 representatives were reappointed to the board. Simple, Leroy. Simple. So all this call about for my resignation, very, very premature. And I am wondering, these are trade union leaders. I was once a trade union leader. I have never acted so irresponsibly. Anytime information comes to you as a trade union leader, you don't have to be a trade union leader. If you're a leader, any information coming before you, you verify and you certify. And if after verifying and certifying with me, and they were still not happy, of course, go ahead and call your press conference. That's your right. Make your statement. But I would want to caution these trade union leaders. You have a grave responsibility not to act so recklessly on information that you have not certified. So it's all a storm in a teacup, Leron.
So, Minister, what happens?
There are 2 representatives on the board, Ainsley Matthews and Anand Tiwari, and the other 2 representatives from the Joint Trade Union Movement, Devanand Sinanan from Tuton. He is the deputy chairman of the board, and Trevor Johnson from Banking and General Workers Union. But I want to make a further point, Leron, if you would permit me.
Sure, go ahead, Minister.
You see, there are trade unions in this country, believe it or not. They are in NATUC and they are in the Joint Trade Union Movement, believe it or not. They are straddling both horses. And the time is coming sooner when these trade union leaders and their respective membership will have to determine, do I want to belong under the umbrella of the Joint Trade Union Movement or under the Federation of Independent Trade Unions or under the National Trade Union Center? They will have to take a decision. I have said it at the beginning of my tenure. There are 3 labor bodies in this country, Liron, and I intend to meet and treat with all 3 of them. We have a lot of work to do in this country. I have given the trade union movement the undertaking. I have an open door. All of them, Liron. NATUC, Fighton, JTAM, all of them have my telephone number. I am always accessible. I am one minister. Anyone calls me, I return the call, even if it's 8, 9 o'clock in the night. I return the call because I operate on the principle. If someone has taken the time to call you, it is really very discourteous not to return the call.
Minister, so since all of this has happened, have you had a conversation with NATUC?
No, I have not had a conversation with NATUC, but when I came out and I made my statement informing the population that NATUC 2 representatives were reappointed to the board, I have heard nothing. Not one of them have called, and I did make a public call for James Lambert to apologize to me for making such a reckless, unfounded statement. I have heard nothing from them, and life goes on. I have a program, I have a work plan that I have to implement, and I am implementing that work program in collaboration and consultation with the trade union movement, with the Employers Consultative Association, all the chambers of industry. Liron, this month, the 22nd and 23rd of this month, Monday the 22nd, Tuesday the 23rd, are 2 very, very important days in this country. That is the day that the Ministry of Labor and Small Enterprise Development will be engaging our stakeholders, the trade union movement, and the employers in a 2-day stakeholders consultation. And that consultation is critical, where all parties, both labor and employers, the chambers, we will come together and we will consider the recommendations of the Industrial Relations Advisory Committee, as well as we would look at that piece of legislation, the amendment to the Industrial Relations Act of 2015, which ironically last year saw for the first time in decades both employers and labor being on the same page. They were both opposed to that piece of legislation. So we will be sitting down and we will be engaging in a discussion, a conversation, a dialogue, and attempting to arrive at consensus on how we go forward on this piece of legislation, as well as those very valid recommendations made by the Industrial Relations Advisory Committee, which is headed by Dr. Hyacinth Guy.
Minister, as we come to the end of this segment, and is it therefore then, and you said irresponsible statements earlier, does this now set the tone for NATUC's interactions with you as Minister and the Ministry of Labor? And do you see this as a political move by NATUC?
Of course. Listen, this is par for the course. This is par for the course. I expect NATUC to behave that way. I expect. It's not surprising, but it does not interfere with my interfacing with them at all. I have a job to do, and my job is to do X, Y, and Z, and I will proceed and do it. I would just urge NATUC to act a little more responsibly in future. They have my telephone number. I mean to say, Liron is very ironical, you know, and I have to smile. Just yesterday I received a letter from NATUC signed by Michael Anizet requesting advising me that he had written the permanent secretary to the Honorable Prime Minister, and he got a response advising him that I have to arrange with the Honorable Prime Minister a meeting for NATUC. I got that yesterday, and certainly by Thursday, I will be speaking with the Honorable Prime Minister and seeking to get a date from him when he can meet with NATUC, arrange that. We will meet, we will discuss their concerns, and the Honorable Prime Minister would respond to them appropriately.
Minister, thank you very much for chatting with us. There's so much more we can talk about. We hope to have you in the studio soon to have a full conversation of what's happening.
Yes, but Leron, I just want to advise, it is the Minister of Labor and Small Enterprise Development. Micro was removed.
Micro was removed.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Minister. We'll make that change.
Thank you very much, Leron, and Trinidad and Tobago. Do have a wonderfully blessed day.
You too, Minister. Stay with us. More coming up in the Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago show.